Welcome, travelers, to my podcast, Hitchhiker's Guide to Ethical Non-Monogamy. I am your host, Ike, and I will be your guide through the journey that is Leonell. And welcome to episode 2 of Hitchhiker's Guide to Ethical Non-Monogamy. I'm your host, Ike, also go by Hito in the kink world, and I would like to welcome you to episode 2. Sorry for it being a couple days late, but I said before, I got ADHD. Sometimes I be in my own head. Other times I want to record, but it's a pretty butterfly. But yes, again, welcome to episode 2, titled D.W.N, Dating While Non-Monogamous. And yeah, the reason why I broached this topic is because dating is already hard being monogamous. Imagine it being non-monogamous. Hell, imagine it being non-monogamous and unpartnered. Shoot, imagine it being non-monogamous while partnered. Like, it's just an overall complicated thing because humans are complicated, relationships are complicated, and apparently we as humans love torturing ourselves. But yeah, so this is a subject that I want to go ahead and broach. Kind of shared some tips, some ideas, some things that I've come across personally that might be beneficial to everyone. So yeah, so let's go ahead and hop on and get this ride going. And for the road trip music today, I don't have it. Didn't have it today because, when it comes to dating, just in general, it's a weird balance of a headache and joy. Because you'll be happy when you find someone that you're happy with, but on the other end, it could be so draining. And like I said last time, there's pee in the dating pool, and it's like no one's like bringing out the chlorine to clean it. So it's like, it get a little frustrating. But I'll make sure I have some music down the road. Hell, might even create a playlist on my Spotify to go along with this podcast. But yeah. And just to give a quick recap of what I got going on, I'm just your standard 9-to-5 guy working from home. I did buy a lot of kinky stuff. I'm proud of myself, but I feel like my wallet wants to slap the shit out of me because I got like a bunch of wax for wax play. I got a new knife. What else I got? I got some impact stuff. Like, I'm gonna have so much fun with that stuff. But still, it's like, that was my week. I treated myself to a lot of shopping of kinky stuff, and I'm actually happy I did. Shout out to Etsy. They have some great stuff on there. Beyond that, I did get to go ahead and go on a date with one of, essentially, it's like not my partner, but kind of partner. Like she's leans more monogamous than non-monogamous, but it's like she enjoys me. She likes me. It's like, when we're together, we have fun chats. It's a good time. So I guess I might be just a person in passing, or I might be someone more so long-term on that end, which I'm here for. I'm not even really upset about that. And also my other play partner, she kind of is also an influence for this episode, because she kind of told me, so she is a queer woman, pansexual. To be like pansexual, queer is kind of weird to define outright, because on queer side it's more so, it's kind of like, fuck gender normative shit. On the pansexual side, it's like saying your sexuality is, overall broad, be it non-binary, trans, cis, etc. So she was out and about one day in my area. I stay in South Austin, and she kind of hit me up to like just come kick it because, hey, she's on my side of town. I'm like, sure, I work from home. Go ahead and pop by. And she kind of actually like said something to me where it's like a mixture of like pride and a mixture of damn. Where she, after the date, she kind of already said that she is no longer dealing with any cis hetero men, and that I have made the cut. Like, I slid in but right before the door closed, and it was like, cool, I made it before closing time. So apparently, hey, your boy made it safe. I don't know if that's like a good or a bad thing. I'm taking it as a good thing because she is dope as fuck. She is cool to hang with. I do enjoy some nerdy individuals. And apparently, my aura in terms of romantic and sexual relationships are drawn more towards queer women, or at least femme presenting non-binary individuals with a vagina. I don't know why my energy, my aura, or whatever my crystal people will tell me draws that kind of dynamic, but I'm not upset because I enjoy my interactions. I enjoy the people, like my lady, my anchor partner. Yeah, she is queer. And it's like, she even said herself, like, I don't know what it is about you, but she loves me and she's happy for it. So, and I'm happy too, and I love her. But yeah, when she said that, kind of also, that's what kind of like made this episode too. Is because dating while non-monogamous is tricky, because when you're out to date, you're dating in a pool full of people that are kind of programmed to monogamy. You find someone, you date, you fall in love, you move in, you get married, you have kids, you grow old and die together. That is kind of the spiel that we've been given, be it from our parents, from religion, from media. It's like that's all we always see. It's just, hey, this is how it's supposed to go, and that's it. But I guess us on the side of non-monogamy, we're the rebels in this. We want to see if there's a different, better way, or if there's a more fun way to live life outside of, just having that one partner. Because I did have a thought a couple days ago, like, I don't think feel sorry is the word. Actually, no. I feel sorry if it's in the negative. If they live their long life and they were both ecstatic, kudos to them. But I feel sorry for those individuals that like met in high school, their high school sweethearts, they've only slept with each other, they got married, they had kids, lived this long life, and they've been having mediocre sex. Or they don't feel emotionally fulfilled, or they just pretty much played a role that they were told to play even though they didn't feel like playing it, but they played it because of other people. Like, I feel sorry for those people that never got a chance to explore, see what is like more so out there. Like, it's overall weird because I get it. The United States of America is a pseudo Puritan society and likes to act like we are holier than thou. But we also live in a society where they tell men, hey, get you a pure virgin. And they tell women, hey, be a virgin. But on the other side, hey, get your woman that's good in bed before you like go be around, sow your oats, and mess with all these women, then go for the pure women. It's like, it's kind of ass backwards. Like, cool, so you want me to go fling about with multiple women, but then I'm supposed to find the one woman that didn't fling about, and that's who I'm supposed to be with. Like, to me, that's ass backwards. Besides, I am here for a woman that has explored her sexuality on her terms. Like, that's what I'm here for. Like, I am not here for someone that just lived their life dictated by other people without even a say so for themselves. But yeah, that's just where I end up and me being me. So, but yeah, when it comes to, okay, so yeah, sorry, I definitely went off on a tangent, but yeah, let's go ahead and tackle the episode. Dating while non-monogamous. All right, so when it comes to dating, even on the monogamous side, it's tricky because we're told to date, but from the time of puberty or even before puberty up until the time we actually get the courage to ask someone out, we're never really told why we should date, who we should approach, how you should approach someone. It's just always like, because yes, our parents be working all the time, so they don't have time to sit down and say, hey, daughter, this is how you should approach a man and how a man should approach you. Son, please don't say no corny lines to embarrass the family. Like, we don't have that. Like, some people may not. More times than not, it's movies that are teaching us things. It's pornography that's teaching us things, because everyone don't have the time to essentially teach these kind of subjects. And sure, schools can provide something like a sex ed that also kind of give a what is it called? They're not Castilian. Those fancy things that they make kids do where they dress up and go on like a date or whatever. I don't know, some prissy thing. But yeah, there's no like course to teach. This is how you be a gentleman. This is how you be a lady. Like, those don't exist anymore, except for maybe uber rich people that end up buying their wives anyways. Who knows? But yeah, we don't have a method to whatever madness there may be. So if you decide to go ahead and go the route of non-monogamy, and you're about to go ahead and go into the dating realm, this is a quote that I actually want others to kind of use as they move forward. And it is from Shang-Tzu. Shang-Tzu. Boy, I am sucking at this. Haha, no. Sun Tzu. The Art of War. There we go. We got it. We here. But yes, so the quote I feel like everyone should go by in terms of dating or just life in general. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. If you know yourself and not the enemy, for every victory gained, you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. So yes, that was from The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And the reason why I'm quoting this is, when it comes to going out dating, non-monogamous, monogamous, hell, just for kicks and giggles, or just even for casual reasons, if you do not know yourself, you are bound to just outright lose. Now, in the quote, by enemy, we're not being literal saying, oh, this is like a battle with someone I must defeat and conquer. No, we'll leave the conquering stereotype back in like the 60s, 70s with jocks and nerds and blah, blah, blah. But no, in terms of the enemy, it just means your partner or potential partner, or in this case, your date. Now, this isn't like something to where it's like, oh, you gotta stalk them, and you don't have to cyber stalk them or do anything creepy like that. We're not team catfish, we're team be yourself and have some interactions. But in terms of knowing your enemy, it's just, in terms of knowing your date, like, I'm positive that a lot of you are not blind date people where you just like, I want a non-monogamous blind date, and then it's set up and then you're going in blind. No, you're meeting these people, be it at events or through other means, and you can use that time to have conversations with them, to get to know them, see what they like, see what they dislike, see what they're about. That's what it means to know your enemy. It's literally taking time to see if that person is compatible with you. But the more important part is you need to know yourself. And the reason why you need to know yourself is because you need to figure out what are your boundaries. What are certain things that are red flags to watch out for? What are certain shortcomings that you may have that might be a red flag for others? It's a matter of figuring out what is actually going to work for you. Because if you go in not knowing what you're actually looking for, you're wasting your time and you're wasting the time of the person that you're meeting up with. And that person might be the perfect person for you, but because you were not prepared, you ended up scaring them away, and now they are gone doing their own thing and they have a negative outlook on who you are. So yes, you need to take the time. Figure out certain triggers and traumas that you may have that may be off-putting. Figuring out what kind of dynamic that you are looking for. Are you actually looking for a polyamorous relationship where you're trying to build an overall polycule where you have your partners, they have their partners, and things are established? Are you just looking for a swinger type of dynamic where you and your partners are you and your partners romantically, but together you go to sexual events, or you'll have like bring a unicorn in the bedroom and have fun that way. Things like that. Are you trying to be monogamish, where it's literally you're romantically and sexually monogamous, but on certain occasions, on certain like set rules that you two have, you can have extramarital affairs. So it's a matter of figuring out what it is that you can handle. So that way, when you see that you're presented with something that you cannot handle, you can walk away, save your time, and just, go about and live your life. Find someone else, go about it a different way. You do the work, you figure out what's going on, because you need to figure out what it is that you're about. Because that will always lead you to the right path. Because a lot of times people go on dates, monogamous or otherwise, not even knowing what they're really looking for, and they're just trying to find it along the way. Now, in terms of not knowing your type, that's one thing. But not knowing what your overall end game is, that is where things kind of get murky and muddy. And again, my ultimate pet peeve is my time being wasted. My number 2 pet peeve is wasting another person's time. So you can see why, I am not here for the fuckery. If you're looking for a casual relationship, let it be known. Do not try to say all the perfect things to get that person in bed, wasting their time and say, ooh, you know what? This is actually all I wanted. Peace out. No, there are other people that just want the casual things that you're looking for. Stop being toxic and manipulating people to get that one thing you want and ignoring what they want. Because they are human beings just like you are. And when you act in that manner, where you're manipulating them in order to get this little thing that you want that doesn't match with them, you're pretty much saying that they are lesser than you and lesser than human, and they don't deserve any kind of credence or respect. And I say it's kind of fucked up. But yeah, that is my main important thing. Shout out to The Art of War. A lot of good quotes in there. Have I read the book? Hell no, but I've heard that quote before, and I thought it was a good ass quote. But yeah, all right. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break because I do this by myself. And sometimes I got to recenter and, say some other words because I be talking. But yeah, all right. Be right back. All right. Welcome back. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this a little bit further. Dating while non-monogamous. So, I do want to go ahead and talk about the means of, where you can go to find other non-monogamous people that you may find interest in, or at the very least, kind of learn from. And I do want to go ahead and say off the top, I'm a cis hetero man. Cis meaning my sex and gender identity are in sync. Hetero meaning I'm romantically and sexually inclined to women. That's just essentially how I roll. And so the way I'm able to find dates is more broader because we live in a heteronormative society that typically are catered to cis men and women as well as bisexual femme women's. That's kind of like how everything is set up. That's how the apps are set up because majority of app creators, they're in Silicon Valley and most of the people in charge are typically white and male. So it is a little bit difficult in terms of trying to find those connections online, but it's possible. I've done it. I know of plenty of other people that have done it. So this isn't something that can't be done. It just takes a little bit more work. Just like how non-monogamous relationships themselves, they take more work than the former. But those who really enjoy it, they do find it more fulfilling. They do find it a good time. They find it just overall a great alternative to what we've already known. So, I will go ahead and say the number one thing when it comes to dating is apps. This is the world we live in. We live on the internet. Zuckerberg trying to make the metaverse a thing. It'll never be a thing. Bruh. I'm not going to be able to get, some butter chicken on the metaverse. I need him to sell Instagram because that's annoying. But yes, the internet's the thing. Apps are how we pretty much do everything. That's how we travel. That's how we book flights. That's how we get from point A to point B. That's how we order food now. Apps are everything. So apps would be the number one way in order to try to seek other non-monogamous people. Now, I am going to reference an article from Women's Health magazine. I will have the link in my description. And essentially it's listing the top dating sites for polyamorous dating. And polyamorous, the thing is with non-monogamy and polyamorous is in non-monogamy, but not all all polyamory. Yeah, all polyamory are non-monogamous, but not all non-monogamous dynamics are polyamory. But the thing is, it's kind of being conflated as one thing. So when someone's saying that they're non-monogamous, people assume that they mean a polyam, and it gets kind of muddy that way. But seriously, just because you're non-monogamous is not automatically that you're polyamorous. So don't get offended if everything that you are looking at in reference to non-monogamy says polyam or poly. The reason why I say polyam is because there is discussions how the Polynesians are trying to take poly to describe themselves. So to be respectful, throw the am at the end. So polyam. But yeah, it's nothing to be offensive. Humans inherently are lazy. Like, we want to do the bare minimum for the most results, and I don't see anything wrong with that. But so I'm going ahead and give you these sites, just some quick rundowns if I have it, and the personal experiences I have with them. So on here we have number one being traditional apps. And they're called traditional apps because they are strictly like, hey, we are here for the monogamy. So we're talking your Hinge, your Bumble, your Tinder. Like, they're literally set up to do one-on-one meetups, so that way you can connect and go about your day. But the thing is, I was also on these sites. But one thing that I always did is within the first two sentences, I feel like you should say that you're non-monogamous, you're polyamorous, or whatever dynamic you're seeking. The reason why you want to say this early, like, yes, no one reads the descriptions. They see a pretty picture and they swipe right. But you still want to go ahead and make that alert early because you don't want to surprise someone with your dynamic option. Because on one side it seems like that you are, tricking them. On the other side, they might think that, oh, you're only doing this because you haven't met me. And then they try to stick it out to try to change your mind into being something else that you're not. And it just becomes a bunch of wasted time and some heartache. Personal story. I started dating this lovely woman. She was amazing, beautiful, smart, funny. I was easily falling in love with this woman. Like, she was amazing. Went out on a couple of dates, and I waited until date number 3 to let it be known, like, hey, the dynamic I'm looking for is one of non-monogamy. Like, at that time, I was more interested in swinging than multiple dynamics. So that's kind of the level I was at the time. And like, cause it's like we go to play parties together. I go solo, you go solo, things like that. Now she was just more in a traditional sense of things. Like, no, you find a man, you fall in love, you get married and have babies and live your life together. Like her grandma did, and how her mother did, how her grandma did, and so on and so forth. And so I let it be known. And I guess at this time, she also saw some potential in me, the same way I saw in her. And she was like, all right, we'll go ahead and write us out. Let's just see, and we'll do limitations. And like, we go throughout, and I was like, all right, in a few months, I do have this play party where I can attend. And, she was like, all right, cool. We'll see what happens by then. And, go along with the flow. So time is going along, and I am playing monogamous in the sense that I didn't get into non-monogamy because I had a cheating issue. Like, no. Like I said last time, I've only had one situation where I kissed someone while I was in a relationship and ended up breaking it with that time because, it's not fair to that person. So infidelity was not my reason for going to non-monogamy. So I could easily just go ahead and focus on my my partner at the time. And yeah, so we go ahead, and then the day of the play party approaches. She knows it's coming. She know everything, and it just freaked her out. And it was like a straight up just no. And I'm gonna be respectful, like, cause literally I got there, and that's when she called me. It's like, no, I changed my mind, I can't do it, blah blah blah. I'm gonna be respectful of her. I left. Like, yes, I wanted to go ahead and attend, but look, I knew what I signed up for, and it was at that point where I realized, like, yo, that wasn't a smart move on my part to first off, it wasn't a smart move to continue on because I eventually learned that what she was trying to do was play the long game and hope that I would just change my mind with the non-monogamy thing because she thinks that, she would eventually convert me and change my mind and make me into a proper monogamous gentleman. Error number two, which is honestly the first error, I didn't let it be known up front. Like, yes, I let it be known within 3 dates. Sure, cool. But apparently I was dope enough to where it's like, yo, I actually want to know this man. And bam, here you go. I showed you how awesome I am, and now I'm giving you a curveball. It wasn't fair to her that I waited so long to let that be known. Because I'm positive if she knew that off Jump Street, she would have never matched with me. We would have never met, and she would have not been heartbroken the way I had to cut it off because that was the first time I ever had to break up with someone. Because more times than not, things dissolve. In this situation, it was a full on breakup. Crying, hurt feelings, and yeah, it's not fun. So that's my personal experience with the traditional apps. Make sure you write on there up front, if you need to, bold letters. I am non monogamous. If they didn't read it, that's on them. That is where you have a clean break to be like, hey, I told you this from the beginning. Now you're wasting our time. And you don't have to feel as guilty as I felt when I when I had that happen. But yeah, and also I would say if it's casual, put it in the description. Like, yes, I'm non-monogamous, but I'm really just casual or something like that. Or say you're like, I'm polyamorous, I'm currently unpartnered, but I'm seeking like-minded people. Like, do something to gather your kind of people to your page, so that way you can have more options in seeking that. Their number two option is Field, which I've used Field. I haven't really matched anyone on Field, and Field I feel like is a good app. It's just not as well known yet because I'm in Austin, Texas, so it's Austin to me is like is a town playing a big city. It still just feels like, come on, we only have two highways that go north and south and two that go east and west. We are boxed in. Like, it feels like it's a town that grew up to a city too quickly. Like, we're almost at 1 million people. Thanks, California. Keep sending people this way. Gosh, my poor rent. But yeah, this Field is not as well known. They're trying. Like, Harder Soft Podcast even had like a promotion with them. I believe Kinks with Kinky, another podcast. Like, I guess they're trying to do their best to get out there. But yeah, Field, it wasn't bad. You'll have a variety of people. They even let you kind of like swing, like slide through to see the people before you even say yes or no. So it's not like Tinder where it's almost like a life and death decision. Do you want to try and match, or do you want to say no? Oh no, you accidentally, like, it's not that kind of deal. They also seem to be more positive to alternative styles of sex, being like the BDSM and kinks, where it's like, seems like it's more welcome. Like, hey, if you're looking to be a unicorn, if you're looking for threesome, it seems more accepting of those kind of dynamics. Number three, we have Open. I've never used the Open app before. Over here, it's saying that it's literally a new app that was built specifically for non-monogamous dating. So that might be something I'll look into just to check out. Number four, they have Ashley Madison, which got popular only because it was a website that literally advertised, hey, if you're trying to cheat, come on aboard. Like, hey, it's just like people that's not looking to hook up on Tinder. You'll go ahead and use it how you want to. Go ahead and put on Ashley Madison. I'm not trying to cheat, but hey, if you're looking for a third, I'm just saying. Number five here, they actually have BiCupid, which is more catered to bisexual people seeking polyamory. Yeah, I mean, it does kind of make sense because bisexual women are more welcomed than bisexual men. Like, hell, let a man tell you that he gets pegged by the finest women out there, they're automatically going to say, oh, he gay, or oh, he want a penis. By both men and women. So imagine someone actually being bisexual. They get called gay, just off the rip. There is no in between. Like, oh, you like men and women? You gay. Like, that's literally what happens with bi men. So of course there's going to be a niche market out there, so it makes sense that BiCupid is a thing. And I guess this also might be a haven for bisexual women because the scrutiny with bisexual women is for heterosexual couples, she's a sex toy. For lesbians, she is pretending or she just doesn't know or she's confused. So it kind of makes sense because it seems like bisexual people, both men and women and the in between, they get a certain scrutiny just because they like what they like. So having a safe haven like BiCupid might be their thing. Number six is OkCupid. Now, OkCupid is something that I've personally used. I actually do enjoy OkCupid because it's more fleshed out. Like I got on OkCupid before they had the app. Like they have the website where they literally are like having you answer a bunch of questions. Like I think I've answered like 500 questions on that site. But like OkCupid is not specifically for polyamorous dating, non-monogamous dating. But as of recent, they've actually added the option of non-monogamous as a setting. So that way people can say whether they're non-monogamous or monogamous, which is actually a pretty cool tool. So it allows, people their options. Because there are some ambimorous people where they can be polyam or monogamous. It just depends on the people that they're dating. That's how I met my current partner. Well, my current anchor partner. That's how I met her. Also, the friend that might be monogamous later, but enjoying our time together now. Also happened upon there. Ironically, 2 years ago, I sent her a message, and she sent me a message recently, like, I've been here for 2 years. I'm like, yeah, I sent you a message 2 years ago. Of course, you've been in Austin 2 years by now. But yeah, I also do like this particular feature on OkCupid, where you can also select like certain attributes and aspects about them. Like, hey, oh, I don't want an atheist, or I do want an atheist, I need a Buddhist. And might be a bit controversial for me to say, but I do enjoy the fact they have a race and ethnicity setting. So, hear me out real quick. Like, hey, I do like the setting, but hear me out. Like, I find it important personally, and not coming from like a stereotypical or racist-ish kind of deal, but I feel like sometimes you look for people of your own ethnicity, race, culture, etc., because there might be a potentially like shared experience. Like if I say a quote from Coming to America, I am most likely going to have that reciprocated positively from a black person than from any other race because more than likely, most black people, the audience of Coming to America, is a good chance that a lot of black people saw it. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say, I'm not a believer that like love is limited to race. No, that shit's stupid. Honestly, race and the concept itself is stupid. Like we're all humans. We just came up in different like locations that kind of set us the way we are. Like race doesn't dictate love. That's just how I see it. But I'm just saying sometimes it is easier to just date someone that kind of looks like you. That's really how I feel. Personally, I don't have a limitation to how I had my settings in terms of race. I do know personally, I do prefer black women. I did spend 4 years, 4 of my puberty years in Nigeria with nothing but black people, so that might have an influence. I don't know. I just know I like what I like, and honestly, there's nothing wrong with liking what you like. Just don't belittle everyone else because of what you like. That's pretty much it. Um, but yeah, I'm cool with OkCupid. Seven, they have something called down the dating, where it's like you're letting someone know whether you want to date them or just hook up. So I guess it's literally saying, Huh, you're cute, your profile's funny. Ooh, yes, I want to date you. You ain't shit, but you cute. I'll fuck. That's literally what it says on here. Like, it seems like that's what the point is. Now the next number 8, like these last few, I have not even touched or heard of. But then again, I've been in this happy relationship going on 2 years now. I've been in this happy play dynamic with both of these individuals for like 5. Wait, what was it? Oh yeah, half a year. Yo, that's dope. But yeah, so it's like I'm good. At least I've reached my bandwidth limit, at least for now. But yeah, this number 8 is more than one, which it seems like it is designed specifically for polyamorous people. And this is like more well encompassing for polyamorous people. So it's not a matter of couples looking for others. This one works for if you're single, if you're open, or like if you are a partner. It's like it seems like it's more encompassing, and they do provide specifics for sexuality, gender, and the various identities. And the last one here seems, I don't know if I'm gonna say this right, but number 9 is Polyfinda. I was about to say Finda. I'm not gonna lie. I literally was like, wait, Finder. There we go. But yeah, number 9 is Polyfinda. And it's, yeah, just as another app just to fill in the gap. And I mean, hey, when there's a niche, people will come to it and see what you got. And I guess my only other suggestion are there are ethical non-monogamous groups, be it like on Facebook or group chats, or even on like websites like FetLife. Like there are groups. I believe there's a Black Poly Nation is one. Like they do have get-togethers. They do have functions. There's even one, Poly After Dark. Though I don't know if they are more sexually advertised or it's. I'm not too certain. I haven't been to any of their events. But yeah, there are various options out there available, and just hanging, just chatting with folks, meeting up at get-togethers. There are summits. There are like various functions. Just at least, if not find someone to date, at the bare minimum, kind of learn from their experience. Because, I mean, only a fool tries everything once when there's an option to learn from another. I know I butchered that saying, but it made sense to me just now. I mean, I know it's said differently, but yo, just roll with me, okay? Um, but yeah, and that's pretty much it in terms of how to find these dates. Like, if I had to just go ahead and sum it up, my main things are like, number 1, know who you are, know the what and why, like figure it out before you go out there. I'm not saying you gotta figure everything out, but at least have some base level outline so you know where you're going. Like if someone says, "Hey, drive to New York," at the bare minimum, you're gonna at least look for like what signs am I looking for, what highway I'm supposed to be on. Like you're not just gonna go blindly without even checking out MapQuest or Google. Yes, I said MapQuest. I am a millennial. Number 2, get to know the person that you're about to be dealing with, because yes, you might be here for the relationship anarchy like I am. They might be there for building a commune, or trying to do something a little bit different than what you're going for. So at that point you're like, oh, not my bag of tea. We can still be friends if you're down for it, but other than that, I'll keep it moving. Let it be known early, because there are a lot more monogamous people than there are non-monogamous. So let it be known, like, hey, I'm not monogamous. In some cases, they might even ask, what does that even mean? Because they might have never even heard of it, and that might be the thing that they've been looking for all their life. So just let it be known early. Do not try to hide it. Do not try to conceal it and spring it on them later. Because again, time wasted and heartache is never fun. And yeah, go ahead, check out the sites. Make sure you're doing your due diligence. And throw some cute pictures on there. If not cute, throw some pictures of you being you. Because the one thing you want to do is find someone that wants you for you, not for interview you. Like, that was one rule I made for myself a while ago, where on the first date, you are not getting some kind of representative of Hito or Ike. You are getting me. I am silly. I am funny. I tend to be sometimes impulsive. I am not perfect, but I am not a dick. Like that's who they get up front. They're not getting some I'm gonna do everything to please you R&B from the 90s guy. You're getting people pleaser. Like I do like to please people, but in my own terms, you know? But yeah, all I gotta say is be careful on the road out there because D.W.Ns, they are annoying as fuck. See the cleverness? D.W.I, D.W.N. What can I say? I'm gifted. But hey, I do thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate the downloads I've been getting. I love the support that y'all have been providing me. If you do want to go ahead and reach out, it is Hitchhiker's Guide to ENM@gmail.com. Questions, concerns, comments, or suggestions, I am here for it all. I am also available on Instagram at Hitchhiker's Guide to ENM. Actually, am I? Because I swear to God, I keep forgetting that part. But yes, I am available. Hitchhiker's Guide to ENM on Instagram and Hitchhiking to ENM on Twitter. 1H. HITCHIKEIKING to ENM. TOENM. Yeah, next time I'll make sure I have the next episode out on time. Until the next time, travelers, be safe.